Thought we'd try something different today. I'm going to let Spirit lead me for the reading this week, and we'll see. We're going to do collective, which means it can apply always to many people because it's not a specific person I'm reading for. I'm reading for potentially a lot. And so we're going to just pull some cards today, and we're going to see what this week is all about coming up this month. This is now the beginning of October 2023. And it doesn't matter if you're tuning in or listening to this video and it's not October 2023. It still applies for your week ahead, whatever is coming. So instead of pick a pile this week, we're going to start with just a collective. Hi, I'm Kathy and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's in the cards. So I thought I would just lay it out there and let's see what shit sticks because who knows what's coming. We want to know what's coming this week, right, in our lives, at least to get a little bit of an idea as maybe what we can expect. So I'm going to tune in now to my guides, angels, and then we're going to be pulling some cards. I'm going to be pulling some cards. There's no we in this, although there is a we. There's my guides, your guides. So I want you to focus on what it is that you need answers to this week and coming ahead during this time in your life. All right, let's get started, my friends. So the first thing I'm going to pull is or shall I say, an oracle card. Have so many decks right here. It's kind of embarrassing. Um, Spirit messages. Where are you? My spirit messages. And that is an oracle deck. I may have it over here. Goodness gracious. Oh, here it is. It's right in front of me. What else is new? Okay. This is the Doreen Virtue Oracle deck called. No, it isn't actually. This isn't Doreen's. I lied. That's what I mean. Too many decks. You really only need one, maybe one oracle deck, one tarot deck. You don't need to be going crazy like I seem to have here. The more you have, it's like you don't even know which one to pick anymore. Anyhow, let's get started with this oracle deck. This is not Doreen Virtues. This one, I believe, is John Holland. It will be in the description box below. Okay. So let's see. Let's get started now. No more yip yapping on my part. Let's see what shit's coming down this week for you. And what's the overall energy? What is it that we need to know? I'm going to pull 2 or 3 different oracle cards and we'll see which one resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate, don't make it fit. Throw it away and just see what comes next. All right. Let's see here this week. What do you need to be aware of, my friends, going forward this week? We're going into fall here, and it's going to really fall here, and Halloween coming up, which is our favorite holiday. The veil's thin with spirit, and it's easier to receive messages. Okay, let's go. Let's go. What do you need to know? 3 oracle cards. First one, oops, trust. Oh, sorry, trust card. All right, I'll read it for you. While your logical mind is dictating a supposedly clear direction, your soul's inner guidance is urging you to follow an alternative path. The logical path may be one you consider safe and more familiar. You could be missing out on endless opportunities and so much more. Okay, yes. So sometimes this comes up when we're facing either a significant decision this week or this time in your life, or you don't know what to do. You're in that place of no man's land. You're trying to figure out what to do. Let's see what the second one speaks. Self-love. Okay, now is the time to love, nurture, and heal yourself. Self-love is not simply a state of mind about feeling good, it's a state of appreciation for yourself that grows and matures from actions you take to support your body, mind, and soul. Yes, and self-love is not just physical, as far as maybe getting lots of rest, eating proper foods, and physical activity. This week is also about taking care of your emotional and your mental needs and your spiritual as well as the physical. So whichever one of these sounds like you, all right, so far. And finally, I have vulnerability. All right, this is a confirmation that you're seeking to tread into the unknown. Kind of goes along with the trust card, doesn't it? Unfamiliar territory where decisions are based more on intuition than rationality. Don't let fear hold you back or allow a misguided sense that feeling vulnerable is somehow a negative condition. Okay. Yeah, it's scary when we don't know where things are going and we have to trust the trust card. So we have three, and I know I said I wasn't doing a pick a pile, but I'm really feeling that each of these piles deserves some more information, tarot related and otherwise. And so, what I'm going to ask you to do right now, even though it's a collective, I want you to sit and think about the three cards: trust, self love, and vulnerability, and tune in. And it's not a formal pick a pile reading, but there will be a link to each of those main cards if you only want to listen to a portion of this video. Otherwise, I would be happy to have you here to listen to the whole thing. It would be great. Because if one doesn't resonate, maybe the other two might. Who knows, right? It might sound like this is what's happening in my life or what could be happening. So I really welcome you to take a chance, listen to all three. And we're going to move forward and see why our guides and my guides are asking or putting out this information: the trust, the self love, and the vulnerability. Okay, I'm going to switch them around so I can do this one first. Trust. I feel like it goes along with the vulnerability, and it does. So that was our oracle. Let's carry on into tarot, my friends. All right, I'm going to use these cards, the Light Seers deck. All right, these are beautiful. I just love this deck, and I got it online on a good price. It was on a sale on Hay House. I think it's hayhouse.com. And I always check back on their website, especially around Black Fridays. They do have some good sale. Okay, so let's see. What does the collective need to know, first of all, about for their week coming up or the time period coming up in their lives right now? What can you show us? All right, friends, we will go further now. Okay, first card is the Six of Cups. There we are. You can see it. I'll pull it back a little bit. So, what I'm hearing is for some, it's going to be about in this point in time, there feels like somebody is trying to come back into your life, maybe a friend, relative, somebody you haven't spoken to for a while. And because the trust card, I feel like maybe they betrayed your trust in the past for some of you. Could even be in a small way. It doesn't have to be a major. Um, and all you're thinking about right now is about the nostalgic part of that relationship you had in the past and how you you miss that aspect of it. Doesn't mean it's necessarily good to go back. So we're going to pull some more cards and see where this card is telling us to go. But this is how I'm feeling. Some of you, it's also a place. It's not necessarily a person. It could be you've been pining away, thinking about a situation. Maybe for some of you, you're contemplating moving location, going back to your childhood town or city or place where you lived. And it's calling you back right now because there's that nostalgic memory about it. As well, other people, it's just that wonderful feeling when you hang out with young people. I know, this is the Six of Cups. Look at that. The dog, There's that wonderful energy around it. It's that wonderful feeling that you get when you've spent a lot of time with someone, whether it's an old friend or family member or someone, even a partner, your relationship, and you've been together a long time, and the past has such wonderful memories. So, if some of you are going through a situation right now where your trust has been betrayed, you've been hurt, this tells me that you're sitting there looking only at the positive aspects of what you're missing in this particular relationship. And that's going back to the person that we're missing. Now, this can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing, depending on what the other cards are going to say. So let's look further. All right, what else can you tell us about this? All right, the Page of Swords in the reverse. Okay, I feel like that for some of you, you're actually waiting to hear back from a friend from the past, family member you haven't heard from, and you're not receiving any kind of communication from them at this point. It's it's not that they're not. I think it's going to be delayed. It just may not happen this week or this time period for some of you. There's also it's really referring to um new ventures that you maybe had wanted to start in the past, and it sounded like it was a great idea. Maybe you put a lot of time and effort in wanting to do this certain project, certain whatever it is. Maybe for some of you, it's even starting a business, a side hustle, if you want to call it. But you, for whatever reason, life got in the way, and now it's coming back to you. But you're delaying it. You're keeping yourself from doing it. There's a trust issue here. Okay. You're not trusting yourself for some of you. All right. Now, let's also pull another card. And the Ten of Swords in the reverse. Okay. Now, for some of you, yeah, it is. It's a fear of trust issue because the Ten of Swords in the reverse, though, is better than it being this way. So, what I feel is that for some of you, it's not a good thing. You're stuck in the past, okay? And this, with respect to this particular issue, and you're holding on to fear and a lack of trust with respect to whatever is going on in your life. And a lot of people's relationship issues, friends, family members, loved ones, partners, boyfriends, girlfriends, whoever can definitely be speaking volumes and you're holding yourself back. But I feel like, to be honest, I feel like you don't have enough information to hold back. I feel like some of you are just, it's a go to from the past. It's like your normal response is, I can't trust that. I can't believe that's true, or I don't want to go there because I don't want to get hurt. That's kind of what it's feeling like. You're getting in the way of yourself, okay? And finally, what advice can they tell you about this? Let's see if there's any advice that they want to tell you, your guides and angels, about that particular, whatever situation is holding you. You're being held back, but I feel a lot of you, it's your own fears. Oh, sorry, the microphone. I feel it's your own fears are holding you back. You don't want to go there. Like I say, it sounded like a good idea in the past, or maybe there's a lot of happy memories around this situation that you keep remembering. It's that nostalgia, right? But it's not, you're, for some reason, you're being held back, and maybe it's fear, right? Fear getting hurt. Okay, let's see. What advice do they want to tell this group about this trust issue? Oh my gosh, I can't make this shit up. That's what I always say. That's my line. Can't make this shit up, honestly. Look at this. Let your past, here, let me pull back. Let your past go. Seriously. If you needed to hear this today and you're struggling with trust, this time in your life right now, for whatever reason, you need to let the past go. Now, that doesn't always mean we have to give people a second chance. That's entirely up to you and your circumstances. But it also, when you let the past go, even if you don't decide to go forward, it means you've either forgiven someone, and you want to find peace, and you're going to let that situation go. If it's a situation in the past that didn't work out, you need to find your peace. Okay. So it says the burden of carrying your past around has made you weary. Dear one, it's time to set this burden down. Keep only the lessons and the love and leave everything else behind. You don't want it or need it, and it's now gone. So this feels more to me that it's about, yeah, it's about letting go of that situation in your past. It could even be childhood trauma, childhood situations that are causing you to have lack of trust, and that is very common, as we know. You need to let it go. That's what the angels are telling us, our guides. Don't hold on to that shit. I know it's hard. It's easy to say, right? Because what's happening is it's blocking you from moving forward. Every time you take a step forward, you feel like you're pulling yourself back. Nope, can't do this. Nope, don't want to do it. It also is telling me it can be trust in anything. It can be trust with an idea you might have. It can be trust with someone in your life. As I said, it can even be a young person, children. And I know I mentioned about children, spending time with children. Um, Maybe for some of you, I don't know, are you thinking about starting a family, right? So maybe your past is haunting you, your fears. I know that's a very specific reading, but you need to let go of those fears that could end up causing you, um, well, it's eating away at you right now. See it. And the reason this card is telling you, it's not necessarily telling you to forgive someone, although spirit will always tell you that. Because sometimes with some people, we can forgive, but that doesn't mean they have to be part of our life. Okay. So, or a situation. Maybe we did something stupid in the past. God knows we do all these things half the time, right? I know I do. Um, you have to trust that that was a lesson you needed to learn. Let it go. That's what it, let your past go. The past is the past, isn't what they say? And it's meant not to hold us in a grip of fear, although most of us it does, because what happens is, as soon as you remember the past event that caused you trauma, fear, anxiousness, anything, that's our go-to, right? Look what happened last time. I can't do that. So that particular situation on trust, the trust issue, my friends, if you're sitting there also, you've hit rock bottom. For some of you, it's even you've been out of a relationship and you got hurt, which we always do when there's a breakup. That's just a no-brainer. But it looks like you have the capacity to come out of it. That's the Ten of Swords in the reverse. In other words, your mental part of your trauma or your hurt or your pain or whatever the situation is, it's showing me it's it's letting go. It's going. You need to consciously make that decision. If you sit and you dwell on it all the time, you're not letting it go. Okay. Okay, so that, my dears, is a collective energy. It's around trust. And let's see what old Kipper has to say about this. All right, trust. And I'll pull one card. What does it want to tell us about trust this week or this time in your life at this time? What is going on about trust? Expectation. Oh boy, that's one that I often struggle with. We have these expectations in our lives of how things are supposed to go. In fact, for anyone who is in a state where they have broken up with someone, relationship has ended, i.e., any relationship, friendship or otherwise, once a period of time goes on, we often spend a lot of time reflecting on the happy times we had together, which of course we wouldn't have been in a relationship. It wasn't good, right? You'd leave right away. Whether even friendships, you had a lot of fun, you had laughs together. But your expectation, sometimes our expectations can be too high, and this allows us this energy of getting hurt. It's never what we think it's going to be, in other words. So, what I get from this it's like she's sitting here waiting for something to happen. You can't. You have to make things happen. You have to put it out there that you want whatever the situation is that you're carrying, let it go and expect. Once you do let it go, expect that things will start to get better because it is. The Ten of Swords in the reverse tells me you're on the way out. Whatever the situation is in your life, you're moving past it. Trust that your fears, your expectation, this is your go to. My expectation are things are going to go bad, going to go south. Well, no, no. You that's just because of past experience, and we know I just spoke about that. So, my dear friends, let it go and change your expectation. Now, this also is a timing card for anybody that is wondering on this situation as to a timing situation. This often reflects 3, 4 month time period expectation. It's like you're waiting for something to happen, and it can be around a 3, 4 months. So, anyone wanting to know information about that, that also is reflected. And anyone wanting to know about perhaps horoscope as to who, if there is a situation involving another person in your life right now, what there. I'm going to pull 2 horoscope signs. Let's see who it could potentially be. If you know the horoscope, if you know their zodiac symbol, when their birthday is. Okay, who is it? Who is around a person? First one we have is an Aries. And that is someone who is born March 21 to April 20th. Then we have a Capricorn. And that is someone who's born December 22nd to January 19th. Those would be most likely, if it's a person or related to a person, for some of you, if that's speaking to you, that could be who it is involving. So let's go now into our next oracle card. That was trust. All right, let me put these together. And then we will put it all together at the end. Okay, so collective energy around self-love. That's what we're looking at right now. Okay, this card goes here. Self-love, my dear. What can you tell us about that? All right. I don't know if I can actually shuffle these darn cards. They're very thick. They're a beautiful cardstock. I love thick cardstock on tarot. Make it impossible, as you can see, beautiful. And I usually don't shuffle like that because I don't like bending my cards. Bit of thing. No, I like my cards to stay relatively nice. So let's see. What's the first card that is this week for those of you that are resonating with self-love and you want to know what's going on here? Let's see, my friends, what's going on? Card first, 3 cards total. Okay. Self-love. Oh, the moon in the reverse. Okay, the moon comes up in the reverse when you need clarity, when you need to know something. Something you didn't know is coming, is being told or being, you're made aware of this time period. Um, it also references your dreams, okay? Your dreams and your subconscious thinking. Subconscious level and intuition. We'll go with. So what I'm feeling is with regard to self-love, for a lot of you, this involves um, pay attention to your dreams this next while. Self-love is also with dreams, and it's about your actual dreams and your goals in life, right? I feel like there's going to be clarity on it, but it's something that's going to give you back more than what you're putting out. In other words, it's giving you that self-love. So, in other words, there might be somebody who's going to be getting a hold of you this week to give you an update about any future goals and dreams that you've had, whether it's a job situation or a relationship situation. It may be coming to fruition this week. In other words, it might be happening. Okay, let's pull another one. We have the Ace of Wands in the reverse. Ace of Wands. Yeah. You feel most likely for a lot of you, you're not looking after yourself. You're not taking care physically. But more importantly, it's your passions. It's what drives you, what gets you going in the morning and gets you up out of bed and helps you to get excited about every day. They have to be excited every day. But you need to focus on one thing that'll give you that extra bit of joy in your life. And it looks like what has happened is you dropped the ball on it. You haven't. So self-love is telling you, get on it because there's been delays and delays when I see the card in the reverse. It's not always delays out of our control. I feel like this one is more delays that you put on yourself. In other words, if you were wanting to start that exercise program or start, and I know I should talk, I have that problem, or you're wanting to start a new project, a new hobby, something fun, you've been delaying it. You've been letting it go. But it's coming. There's something coming to a head this week about it. And I feel like it's going to be starting up. I feel like you might be getting motivated. Let's see what we get here. The Nine of Swords in the upright. So what it tells me is there's some of you might even be having, excuse me, and I don't read health. But there's a possibility you might be having a health scare of some kind. Perhaps you've gone to the doctor, you're waiting to hear results. That doesn't mean it's going to be bad news. It just is what gives you the motivation to move forward and take care of yourself. And I know this should be for me actually, this reading, because it's like you get to a certain point, and maybe for all the years ago you didn't look after yourself physically, and now it's catching up, and this is what's happening to me. So it's telling me, I feel like this is talking to me. It's like there's something that's going to come up this week for you. For some of you, it might even be a friend contacting you and saying, hey, you better get your butt in gear. And I have a friend who's doing that, and that they want you to get going because they want you to be well so that you're in their life. That's one area. There's also, it's a mental thing too. Whether you have been procrastinating, as I said, on whether joining a club, a hobby, or something that gets you fired up, you it's starting to really bother you this at this point in time, like you haven't acted on it. I'm going to pull another card because it's quite extreme. When you see the Nine of Swords, it's that card of anxiety and rumination on something, like you're overthinking it. And that's what it looks like. It's like it's on your mind. So let's see. But that's why I said about the health scare. And when I say a scare, it doesn't mean that you're going to die. No, it just means that maybe you dodged a bullet. It's like, okay, the doctor found something, or I'm not feeling well, so I need to go for a test. And you have the test and you're scared. And that's what the Nine of Swords is telling me. But it turns out okay. It's a wake up call. That's the word. And that's the expression I was looking for. Wake up call. Okay. Now, let me see what else the Nine of Swords is referring to. Okay. Two of Wands in the upright. Okay. This also speaks to me about somebody is at a crossroads. They need to make a decision on something in their life right now. And it feels very, I won't say dire, but it's enough that it's keeping you, it's on your mind quite a bit. You're nervous about it. So I would suggest, and we're going to pull obviously the advice card. There's this feeling of it's time. It's time to get off the couch. It's time to meditate. It's time, whatever this area covers. For those in the esoteric world, it's time to do your spiritual work. And I know sometimes I procrastinate. I procrastinate on a lot of things, and we all do. That's being a human being. But it's time now to be aware that don't delay it anymore. And life is short. Why not enjoy it, right? Okay, so make that decision, put some plans initial plans into place and get your ass going. Okay, now we're going to see what the advice is about this particular situation about self-love. What your guides and my guides want you to know about self-love? We'll find out more as to where this is leading to. Okay, perfect timing. That's the card we just received. Okay, that is exactly right. Perfect timing. And what it says is now is the perfect moment for you to act on your inspirations. Like I said, I don't make this shit up. The doors are open while you walk through them with us by your side. Don't delay or procrastinate. I kid you not. It says procrastinate on here. This is all of the, and you saw me shuffle and deal. As all of the ingredients are ripe for your success. Everything and everyone is on your side supporting your positive outcome. Isn't that awesome? Get going. Do it now. Now is the time. In other words, perfect timing. And now I'm going to pull Kipper to see what Kipper has to say about this self-love too. Maybe there's a little more information. Care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Do whatever it takes to make you happy, as long as it's legal. You know, nothing negative as far as what should I say, immoral, unethical, illegal, the usuals. Get out there and smell those roses or whatever. Forgive my language, but fuck a flower you want to smell. Get out there and smell it. All right, let's see what Kipper has to say about self-love. Give yourself a hug. Well, it sounds kind of weird, but give a hug to someone else. Maybe not just a stranger. High honor. Wow. Do you know that, and this is a spiritual thing, when you provide self-love to yourself in any form, it is one of the highest forms of love to start off with, next to unconditional love. But unconditional love can be for anything or anyone. But unconditional love can also be for yourself. So when you do this, you are held in high esteem because you are honoring yourself and your own body, your own spirit and soul. That's on an esoteric level. Okay. On a regular day-to-day level, guess what? People are going to be looking at you going, all right, I am proud of you. Get going. Look at you. Go girl, go guy, whatever, go dude, get it done. I'm very impressed. That's what's going to happen. If you are able to put this all into action, my friend, you're going to be very much held in high regard. Not that that's why you do it. It's just kind of a nice byproduct, right? All right. But it's also going to make you feel good. Obviously, it's going to make you feel good. That's what self-love does. And you know what? It can be as simple as taking a bath, reading a book, soaking in the tub, staying under the covers, resting, just going for a walk. Self-love covers all different, whatever gives you the peace and comfort you need. Mentally, maybe it's even doing puzzle. Seriously, simple as that. Get your mental mind engaged. Emotionally, there's all kinds of things we can do for self-love emotionally. Pet a dog or cat or pet. Cuddle a child. Whatever. Not a stranger, of course. But, child in your life, obviously. Now, let's see. What two signs of the zodiac, if this is pertaining to a person in your life that will potentially may even come forward to help you on this. You're going to get clarity about this week. And if it is involving another person in your life, let's see what two zodiac signs potentially could refer to for them. Okay, we have Capricorn. I pulled that one last time. But that's referring to someone born December 22nd to January 19th. Then we have a Leo. And that is someone born July 23rd to August 23rd. So if this resonates with you, this whole reading, or parts of it even, it doesn't have to be the whole thing. it speaks to you, then, and if it's in relation to another person, you potentially could be dealing with the Capricorn or Leo if you know their birth sign or birthday, right? And which zodiac symbol corresponds. So, self-love people. Let's move on to our next oracle card. I'm just looking at my time here because I want to make sure I give you my absolute attention for the right amount of time. Let's see. What is high honor? As I say, this is in relation to get up and do it on a simplest form. Get up and go. Get up and don't procrastinate anymore. Get done. Can be a small thing this week. Maybe you've been putting off cleaning out the garage, whatever you're doing. Get her done. Um, The Nine of Swords is very dramatic. I mean, look at this. Oh my God. Maybe it's not something that's actually been keeping you up at night, whatever that is you're supposed to be up and doing, but it's certainly on your mind and it's bothering you. Okay. So that's what's on a simpler, easier level. Okay. Now, my friends, let me gather up and we're going to look at the next oracle card. Let me just find all my cards. See, this is what happens when you have too many cards. Honestly, it is embarrassing. Oh, I should have them alphabetized or something. Okay. The next oracle card, if you remember, is vulnerability. I should have shown you those other two. I didn't. I'm sorry. Shoot me. No, don't shoot me. Don't kill the messenger. Okay, now we're going to be looking at vulnerability for you, for people who resonated with that oracle card. Let's see what that pertains to at this time for you in your life or going forward, even this week, my friends. What does this pertain? Your guides and your angels are going to tell you what you need to hear if it resonates with you. Let's see here. Vulnerability. Okay. First card, Five of Wands. Hmm. Yes, in the upright. Let me see. What is this card telling me? It is something to do with a situation this week that other people want, whether it's a situation or a particular, even individual. It could even be a person. But we're going to pull more cards to see exactly where this is going. The Five of Wands usually refers to friendly competition between people. Okay. It can be as simple as a sports competition all the way up to dog eat dog world going after a corporate job, whatever the situation, or another person's husband or wife. Okay. But we are going to pull more cards to see what applies to this. That's why one card doesn't always resonate. It does sometimes if you see something in here that stands out. And what I heard in this card is clamoring, the word clamoring for. Okay, let's pull the next one. Oh, Moon in reverse again. And you saw me shuffle. Okay. So, clarity, seeing things for the way they are this week or this time. And again, I have the Nine of Swords in the upright. Did I not shuffle these things or did I not shuffle them properly? Should I reshuffle these two cards, do you think? That's something you're supposed to edit out, right? On a video. You're not supposed to show people mistakes. To hell with that. Everybody makes mistakes. And it's not a mistake. It's just maybe I didn't shuffle well enough for these two cards. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you what a card reader will do. They will take those two cards that were the same because I don't feel like it resonates necessarily unless they come up again. Then we know, right? So we're going to shuffle again. And maybe I do need to do the original shuffle. Try to. So let's see what the Five of Wands, what is going on in your situation right now? There. That should be better. All right, your guides, your angels, my guides, my angels, what do they want to tell you about vulnerability at this time? Okay, somebody's clamoring for to the top of something. Yeah, what else? Ah, the Empress in reverse. And finally, Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. Five of Wands. Yeah, so basically then, as I mentioned to you, with the Empress, somebody is trying to get ahead. Somebody's trying to go after what they want. And I feel like they are almost there. It's getting close. The Empress in reverse, though, seems to indicate a almost a non-success in it, not getting what they want. They might be close to, but I don't feel like it's going to go forward. I feel like there could be, if this is a job situation, somebody else might get it. Either a woman, if you're a woman, yeah. No, I feel like this potentially could tell you. So if whatever you're going after that you're trying to strive to get this time in your life, I don't feel like it's necessarily for your greater good because of the fact that it's the Empress and she's in the reverse. It's not going to benefit you at this time. Okay. The Five of Pentacles, however, and it's both negative, so because it's in the reverse. But having said that, the Five of Pentacles in the reverse, I don't see it necessarily as a negative because often this means we're not included in something, we're not part of a group, we're not part of something or someone. In this case, I feel like you're going to be coming into something else. In other words, there's going to be some other situation that you'll be included in. Okay, so let me try to get a little more information on this for you. Um, for those of you, and I don't want to say because I don't think I have anyone in my subscribers that is potentially pregnant, but, or not pregnant, sorry, but wanting to get pregnant. This isn't about pregnancy. This is about wanting to get pregnant because it shows the striving, wanting to get there. I feel like it's just not going to happen at this time. It's delayed. Okay. So if there is somebody in your life, whether it is a daughter, friend, coworker is trying to get pregnant, I just don't feel like it's going to work for them. That's very specific, obviously. Um, this time. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It's just at the moment. There's also this feeling that when the Five of Pentacles in the reverse, it can also reference financial situation that if it's a job, for example, and you've applied for it, you feel like you've almost got it. You're at close to the getting it doesn't end up working out. A lot of times it's because it wasn't enough money that you feel is not enough, wouldn't have been enough. You felt you were worth more, and that's very important too. Now, vulnerability, how does this all tie into our vulnerability? Because this isn't something we're comfortable with, being in the unknown, right? These situations, whatever they are, it's scary for us. We don't want to not know whether we're going to get what we want or whether we're going to be able to strive for it. Now let's see, let's get some more on the Empress. What else is she referring to in this case? The King of Wands in the reverse. So for some of you, this is with respect to a male in your life who is probably, whether it's the boss, the HR people, or spouse, a friend, a relative, whoever this person is, they're not being very easy to deal with. Okay. For anyone looking at a job situation, that you want or you're waiting to hear about, it tells me that it turns out that this person, you do not want to work for them anyways. Like they are an asshole, honestly. Egotistical, stubborn, they think their shit doesn't stink. That's this King of Wands in reverse. And as well, because Empress is in the reverse, it's not a situation where all your creative ideas and your all that is being utilized. Okay. And as well. I feel like, and this came to me just now, I'm hearing for some of you, and again, this is very specific. If it's a situation where you are not successful in getting what you want, I feel like there's somebody else who might be, I don't want to say better looking because that's a horrible thing to say, but whoever is in charge of hiring, and they're not supposed to do this, but I feel like they're looking at you going, they don't suit the way we come across for our business, whatever. Now that's very specific. Don't tell yourself you're ugly. God knows, don't ever do that. We're all beautiful. It has nothing to do with it. It's just someone is perceived potentially. In another situation, for some of you, you're striving to be a better parent. Some of you are looking right now, and again, that's very specific. Like you want to be a better parent, and you've got this guy in your life, whoever this person is, causing you problems. There's no question around it. They are not helping the situation. No matter how hard you climb this week to get what you want, feel like they're going to hold you back. Okay. There's also the things. The good news is, okay, this is the good news for this particular pile for vulnerability. Looks things might start to improve, and it's going to put you in a, you know, the expression, we can't always get what we want. So, whatever it is, it's not always in our best interest to even have it in the first place. And this shows me that there is something else that could be coming that you will be able to be part of. Okay, that is going to benefit you. All right. So, vulnerability, sometimes we just have to take a chance. Okay, that's what it is. And yeah, we put ourselves out there to look stupid, make mistakes. That's what I'm doing. And you know what? Who cares? You do it because you feel it's the right thing to do, not because somebody else does. And when we make ourselves vulnerable, it says here, and I'm reading this, misguided, don't let fear hold you back or allow a misguided sense that feeling vulnerable is somehow a negative condition. It's not. It means to me that isn't it better to try and fail than to not try at all, right? So, in whatever way this is going for you at this time, vulnerability people. Now, I'm going to pull an advice on this situation. Let's see what they want us to know about the advice on this particular. All right. Okay, my friends, this is going to turn into a longer video today. Wasn't sure how long it would be, but I will put, as I said, I will put in the description box below some breaks in there. So if you only want to hear part of it, let's see, what are your guides and angels want you to know about this vulnerability card this week, this time? Okay, let's see. The ocean. It's interesting, but I will read it to you. The deep blue sea speaks to your soul, healing and soothing you. Even the act of imagining yourself dipping into its healing womb brings healing womb. Oh boy, look at that. There's a womb in that big world. See, it goes upside down. Okay, healing womb brings about desirable effects. Better yet, spend time physically near the ocean. Well, that's great for those of you that live near the ocean. Allow its power and beauty to wash away all cares and concerns. So it's more about being encased in a comfortable place, is what I'm feeling. And the vulnerability card tells me that this is not going to be a comfortable week. You're going to have to put yourself out there for whatever situation is going on. And it says, even the act of imagining that you're in the ocean and how cocooning it is will give you a sense of calmness and peace. And that is true. Or listen to the sounds of the ocean. It will calm you right down. But you need to allow yourself to be vulnerable sometimes. Sometimes that's just the way we go in life. And it needs to happen for whatever scenario you are in right now. So let me see. Let's see what Kipper has to say about vulnerability this week, this time in your life. Let's go. What is it trying to tell you? Ooh, the lovers. Okay. This tells me do what you love. Do what it is you love. Do not let that hold you back. If, for example, if going into a new relationship with someone, as long as it's the right relationship, you don't have the red flags, do it. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to potentially get hurt, is what it's telling me. But it has to be for the right reasons. In whatever scenario, if this is actually, it doesn't have to be a relationship. But when I see the Lover's card in Kipper, it tells me that most likely for those of you who are asking about a particular date or a relationship that you're going into or staying in, maybe it's a long-term relationship, then you know what? Sometimes you have to allow yourself to open up to that other person and be vulnerable. It's not a bad thing. It's like it said, it's not going to be a negative. It could be a positive. So let me see now. I was going to pull, if this is relating to an individual, like for example, this King of Wands in the reverse. Who is this person? Who is the person involved in this particular reading for the collective? Let me see. I'm going to pull two zodiac cards. Let us see. Okay. Aquarius. That would be January 20th to February 18th. And finally, we have Aries. And that is March 21 to April 20th. So it sounds like it, this negative King of Wands, not such a nice person, then potentially that could be their horoscope going forward. Well, my dears, I think we've come to the end. If you've made it all the way through this video, you are my best friend ever because I know I talk a lot and I forgive me for that. But when I do my readings, I try, it's harder when you're doing collective, clearly, because you're trying to see or feel different situations that could be going on. And not everything resonates for everyone, and certainly not every week when I put them out on Tuesday. So, you know what? Don't worry about it. Throw it out there. But if you enjoyed this reading, I'd love it if you subscribed. Click on that subscribe button, click on the like button, and or click bell or comment. And the bell is so you can get future notifications of more of my YouTube videos. I would love it. It helps our particular field in esoteric, in spirituality, to put it out there so people are aware of what is out there and what's going on. So, my dears, thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.